With spin on the ball and the keeper on his way, life is much simpler with this great game we play. Welcome to the Burnie Podcast.
On tonight's episode, we look back at our week of football when one of our boys' 26 teams got a chance to take part in a match day experience at Livingston Stadium with Football Buzz. We've got some bubble hats and merchandise for sale, some disappointing injury news. As the club president and community development officer, I'm in the hot seat this evening.
But first, the Burnie beat Tabletop and Armadale to claim all 3 points in a fantastic victory. It was a good match.
Fantastic, yeah. It was a really good match.
I saw the picture of you celebrating with the goal winner immortalised, and we'll put it up on screen just now.
Oh, don't.
I thought that was great.
I was standing with my wee cup of tea as the goal went in because it just straight after half time. Yeah, it was a great experience. It was really, really good, and an important victory.
Aye, an important victory. So looking back on the match, an early red card for the hosts kind of changed the shape of the game, but a quality free kick from Callum McDowell and a composed finish from Andy Jones were enough for the win despite a Dale consolation in injury time. Man of the match was Andy Jones. He put in an excellent performance with fantastic hold-up play and the goal that basically turned out to be the winner as he coolly slotted it home beyond the Dale keeper. A goal and a performance that's seen him nominated for SM Media Player of the Week, which is still ongoing. I think it'll close at 5 o'clock today, so please get voting. He was in the lead last time I checked.
Yeah, on Twitter.
On Twitter, he was. But did you know he actually played in Nebraska for 4 years?
I didn't know just until recently, but that must have been an experience and a half playing there and the sites and stuff like that he must have seen when he was across there.
Aye, we'll need to get him on the podcast. And
yes, I think I'll send him a wee text and get him on, drag him down if I need to. So Saturday, great game. I thought we played really well. We were tight and compact, attacked at the right moments. Some guys putting their bodies on the line and things like that. So, yeah, never easy to go to Armadale. They're probably favourites
to win the league.
We went there as underdogs, but we more than coped with any threat that they possessed. It was really, really positive. Keeps us going in the right direction, keeps our momentum going. I think that's we haven't lost in 11 games or something like that. So yeah, credit to all the coaches, all the players, and everybody in the background, the committee members who rush about and make sure that everything's ready for the players to go and perform at their best. So yeah, really, 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 really positive. And all we can do is just keep that going and stuff like that. The only sort of bad news from that was the injury to Ben Riley, who's going to be out for a few weeks. He's just joined us recently and he's hit the ground running.
He's been fantastic for us.
He's been really good. And the boys in the team will miss him. But hopefully through his recovery becomes stronger and things like that, and comes out ready to give us a wee push towards the promotion places when he gets himself fit and that, because he will be missed. Yeah. So hopefully it gets better soon.
That'd be good. So I know you're taking the place of Jared this evening.
Yes.
He's out braving this cold weather.
He's off his head.
Aye.
I've cancelled my training because I wasn't training in that. There's a bit of a cold bug going around, so I just wanted to protect the players because I've got it as well a wee bit, as you might be able to hear a wee bit.
Aye.
But
so
yeah.
Well, how did the 2009s get on?
So 09s we beat Edinburgh South 8-1.
Oh wow, okay.
Still a lot to improve on. Some nice goals got scored, but they're still probably not at the standards that they were last year.
Right.
So we're still working towards that. And this week we've got Curry, so hopefully that'll be another step in the right direction. If we go out there and play with the right attitude and keep the standards that I know that we have. Sometimes, when you are scoring goals, you start to play for yourself rather than the team. So, it's just about, concentrating, keeping the standards up. So when we do start playing harder, better teams. Maybe it's a hard thing to say, but better teams that we know exactly what we're doing and what positions we should be in and how quickly we should move the ball and keep the tempo. So, yeah, good result, but still room for improvement for the standards that I believe that we can reach.
Especially after last season, you've got those high standards. So.
Yeah, and I think some of the boys have forgot about their standards. So it's just about reinstating what we're all about. It's a good pathway team. I hope a lot of players will go to the 20s in the future, and hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4 of them might make the first team in the future. So,
fingers crossed.
But they need to have their standards every week.
But regardless if it's training or a match, you've got to have those standards.
The standards has always got to be there. That's probably how I've got a sore throat. Shouting at them until probably, and anybody who knows me will be nodding their head along with that, I've no doubt. And what about your 2011s? How did they get on?
Not great. We were in the regional cup. We were playing against Hibs, Hibernian CFC. We more than gave account ourselves, considering they're a Div 1 Edinburgh side. The first half, they scored a wonder goal, and then another one just slack defending, so it's just 2-0 at half time. And to be honest, it was, we were holding our own, it was doing well, but the second half we lost the belief.
Yeah.
That was more than anything.
Yeah.
We were still kind of a bit, the boys just lost the belief, and we ended up losing 6-0. But what was kind of an eye-opener for me, we think we've got it good at Blackburn, and we do. We've got a great setup, but see, when you see these, it's, I don't know, are these guys pro youth, the Hibernian CFC, or they're no even pro youth?
No, they're
but the setup that they seem to have, I mean, I'm known for being a bit of a tech guy, but I mean, this guy was next level. He had the camera on the tripod and 2 screens and preloaded pre-reels and everything that you could put across for all the goal scorers and everything. I was like, whoa. There's a fair bit of money involved in there. So I'm guessing their club fees were probably slightly higher than ours.
Probably. Being an Edinburgh team as well, I don't know where they are based or they play or what their connection is to the Hibernian team. But yeah, if you've got the time to do that and you've got the technology, there is technology out there that will benefit, teams and things like that as well. It's just having the money is one of them, but also the time and the skills. So it's about people upskilling themselves so they can do things like that. And as coaches and volunteers, that's what we should be looking to do, is upskill ourselves, that we can prepare our kids to go and play football in the best way they can. And some people take visuals better than verbal instructions. So if you can do both, you're probably going to cater for your whole team. I'm more of a visual learner. So yeah, it'd be good to have a wee look into that and see how they're doing things. But definitely. But again, 2011. Sometimes playing better teams, you learn things. Players learn things, coaches learn things, how other teams set up and how they're playing.
It's all an experience. It's all learning curve. I think that's what reiterated to me is there's levels to this game. We're still progressing through the ranks.
Yeah. And it's still it's still about progression. It's about enjoyment and things like that as well. So as long as they're progressing and enjoying, that's the main thing. Results will come, through that. And again, playing that wee level a bit above you, tempo's sometimes a wee bit higher from that team and things like that as well. So it's all learning curves, as you said.
Well, this weekend we've got Armadale.
Right.
They're second in our league, behind East Calder. So it's going to be a good test against them. But
is that on the 3G or grass?
It's on the 3G.
3G, happy days.
It's on the 3G midday on Sunday. So. We're expecting the boys to put in a performance. Really, I'm looking forward to this game. Actually, it'll be good.
So
we'll see how we get on.
Yeah. But another challenge and another learning curve for coaches and players. So it's positive, because I know your team is going in the right direction.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I had a chat with one of the boys, because we were kind of talking about being positive during the match rather than being negative, and he was kind of we're not quite there with the team, and I said, well, look. You take us a year ago compared to where we are now, we've definitely made an improvement. He agreed with me. And I said, well, where are we going to be next year at the same time if we still keep progressing?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see my point. You can see me go, right, aye, okay, come on, and taking that.
Yeah.
So it's given them that visual pathway of going, aye, we can keep going here.
Yeah, yeah, and it's important, to give encouragement and things like that as well, especially if you are on the end of a bad result and things like that. It can put heads down a wee bit.
Aye, and you've got to kind of give them something to bring them back up.
But push them back up again. The next game's round the corner, always. So, and football's great that way. You can make a mistake or lose a game, but the next game, you surprise yourself or you put in a performance that's really, really good. So it's one of the only sports you can sort of do that. Is make a mistake. Next thing you're doing something great, and you're the best player in the world.
Aye.
So it's about just giving them that advice and giving them that coaching and things like that to carry on to do that. Yeah.
Cool. So we are going to talk about a new section we've got for the podcast, a new sponsor, a kind of sponsor focus section.
Yeah.
I think would be good where each week we'll take a look at some of the sponsors that help make Blackburn such a community club.
Yeah. Without sponsors, there's no grassroots football. Everybody who's involved knows the expenses that are in it. Strips and training tops, tracksuits, all these things that go at fees to keep the lights on and everything else. Without sponsorship, there is no teams. So they are the lifeline of almost every single grassroots team.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Well, I think the best one to start us off with would be our main club sponsor.
Yeah.
Purdy Worldwide.
Which is Purdy Worldwide, who have had a long-term relationship with Blackburn. I don't know how many teams that Purdy now sponsors. Obviously, he's the stadium sponsor as well. He's the first team sponsor for our strips and things like that as well. And I spoke to him last week to start dusting down the chequebook because we'll be getting a meeting soon with him, hopefully. So yeah, without people like Neil and the Purdy family going back in a long time, you just wouldn't have that at all. So yeah, I'm sure you've got more insight to the Purdy sort of sponsorship and things like that. But as you can see, there's strips from a few years back and things like that as well.
We'll need to kind of get more of the strips kind of on display. I'm slowly kind of trying to change this wall into just a football wall, but the boss is kind of. But no, yeah, well, I'll give you a bit of background just in case anybody doesn't know anything about Purdy's. But they originally started in 1960. So this year's actually 65 years.
65 years this year.
65 years this year. So he originally started moving coal and moving furniture off the back of his coal truck. Mm-hmm. So people would be asking when he delivered his coal, any chance you could move a sofa from such and such to such and such? That's how it all started back in the day. Mm-hmm. Matt had two sons, Matheson and Archie, who is still working here. And basically Neil, who's now the third generation, he took over in 2015.
Right,
That was 2015, and that's when it became Purdy Worldwide. And since then we've kind of grown up and we're doing shipping and storage. So we've got a big storage depot in Bathgate to complement the 4 warehouses we've got here in Blackburn. And we've also just acquired a new removal company down in Dumfries, Kenneth Hayton Removals.
Right,
So that kind of gives us an extra wee scope. It's just off the M74, M6, so it's perfect for kind of coming up and down and stuff. So, but along with self-store, containerised storage, there's lots of stuff we do here. Not just helping out, but we help out a lot with the community. Blackburn's been so good to us, and we always feel such a part of the community that we have to do and help out where we can, as best we can.
Yeah. And we've engaged with the property maintenance as well.
Yeah, Purdy property maintenance.
With the young man,
Peter.
Don't know how young he is right enough, but he looks probably younger than he is.
I think actually he's coming up, I think his 40th birthday this month.
40th, right. He's kidding you, zone. So we've used them and he's great as well. He came, we got a kitchen through the Howden's Game Changer.
Of course, yeah, the new kitchen was done
for
Peter.
Yeah, so we got a funding bid from Howden's, and they provided obviously all the kitchen and things, and Peter came up and done a cracking job, so highly recommended. Just didn't get him talking, you'll be alright, you'll get he'll get it done quickly. No, but he's a good. Kidding on. He's a good lad, good laugh, but done an absolutely amazing job, because it wasn't an easy job because of the size of the kitchen and things like that, and quite a lot of the cupboards and everything that we wanted. So yeah, and he's done a bit of plumbing for us as well. So, to be fair, so he's a jack of all trades. And again, it's just something that Purdy provides for the community.
Yeah.
You know, and that give back and that to our community, our football community. You know, with getting the kitchen fitted and things like that as well. So, you know, absolutely spot on, and you know, you generally can do it without Purdy's and all the other sponsors that are about who help us and things like that. But yeah, Purdy's has always been really, really secure with us. It's been really good.
Aye, so if any sponsors want to kind of get in touch with a custom message, then do get in touch. info@theburniepodcast.co.uk. One of our teams, the 2016 teams, the Football Buzz.
Yeah, so they were down at the I don't know if it was a competition they won or something like that, but they went down to Ammanvale to watch Livingston, and they got on the pitch at half time, just doing some of their football skills in a small game, which again is what we're all about. What football's all about for kids is making memories, and I'm sure it'll be memories that stay with them for their lifetime, and their parents and things like that, and the coaches. So yeah, that's the sort of things we want to see our teams and our clubs doing, and again engaging with other partners like Livingston Football Club and things like that as well. So yeah, really positive, and well done, boys.
Yeah, well done. So we've not got a goal or a save of the week on this episode, but before we get chatting to our guest this evening, please enjoy this video from our main podcast sponsor, JT Performance Academy.
Are you looking to take your child's game to the next level? Well, JT Performance Academy has just secured this brand new 11-a-side football facility in Harthill, West Lothian, that we're going to be operating in Monday to Friday. Claim your free session today.
So, welcome to the podcast, Trevor, our president and community engagement officer.
Yes, president for the first team. Yep. So, thank you for having me. I've been trying to dodge it for a long time. I couldn't dodge it any longer. So, I'm here. So, just bear with me, folks.
So, for anyone that doesn't know you yet, can you tell us a bit about your background and how you first got involved at Blackburn?
So, the background to getting into the Blackburn Football Club goes back to the laddie playing for the 2001s, which was literally about 15-16 years ago.
Right.
I got asked on to be the secretary of the team, and like every secretary, I got told it was only an hour a week that you need, and 5 hours, 6 hours into the week, you're going, this is not what I signed up for. But and then I just gradually went into helping train the team. And you know, I think I think it was a season and a half. I was probably doing most of the training, so then ended up taking the team forward. And as I say, rest is history. But yeah, that was we started off with a good team, lost a few players, we built back up again. The current first team manager, Andrew Meakin, I got him on board, so the both of us were sort of running the team for a good 2 or 3 seasons. Which ended us up winning the B League, the League Cup, and I think the highlight, I think it was our first year as under 19s. We won the County Cup at Falkirk, and then the team disbanded because that's when the first team started the development team, the under 20s team. So most of them went up to there, and a couple of them made first team debuts and things like that as well. So yeah, it was just, as I say, just the laddie was involved and started watching it, and then got involved because I was one of the people that got an opinion. You want to help then? Yep, I'll help. You know, it was one of them ones. So yeah, and then, you know, from then, you know, I fell in love with, you know, the football with Blackburn, the people round about and things like that. So got a wee bit more involved. Ended up taking a quite a successful 2006 team, and me and Gav Wallace, who I know you've had on, and I'm sure he spoke about the journey that we had with the 06s. Again, that came to an end at under 17s again, because most of them were going up to the under 20s development team. Decided to retire. I retired for 2 weeks, and then got asked to do the 09s. And again, that's still a success. Been quite successful. The team's been quite successful, and you've been through that, so I won't go through it again. So yeah, and the highlight of that is obviously the Scottish Cup. Yep. And again, I thought I'd had enough, but I've ended up stepping back into the role for a while, or see how long that goes for. And with that, as I got voted into being the club president for my sins, but then I started getting involved with the community side of things, going onto the board, and a bit of an eye opener of what sort of work goes into to keep
the club running.
The club running, making sure all the bills are paid, and everything else, making sure the equipment's there. So yeah, you get dragged into that. Not dragged into that. I mean, there's a lot of things to do, and you end up getting dragged in all different directions to do things. But I love it. It keeps me from getting bored. Let's say, and I think probably it was 3 years ago, I got more involved in the community outreach side of things. So that's sort of how it started and where I am and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a football side that brought it to me, and then you get to realise that the power of a football club, let's say, and that probably got me into the community side of things.
Cool. So if we take it slightly further back, say last century, can you remember your first football match?
I kind of played. It was for a team in Ladywell. I can sort of remember it. No, got very vague. I think I started off at centre back and drifted up front or something like that. So yeah, it was there. Just played youth football and some Sunday league football. So not a mega high standard. But it was always a sort of study of the game, watch the game and stuff like that.
And do you think that's kind of stood you in good stead for being able to manage these teams?
As in studying football, watching football, yeah, but a wee bit. I'm sure, players who play at a higher level and then go into management have got a wee bit more, insight to how the players feel about things and stuff like that. But for me, I've just got a philosophy of high standards and that's it. So football career-wise, situations dictated that you can play for teams and things like that. So I missed quite a few opportunities for that. So to push on, let's say, I had other interests at that time.
At that age.
Yes, yeah.
But now, obviously, you're carrying this moniker of club president or first team president. How does it feel carrying that title and responsibility?
It's definitely an honour. There's certain days you feel like it's an honour, and then there's certain days going, what have I got myself into, or what am I doing? But it's good. It's good as well, because it's about being part of something, and you can't do it without the committee that's round about you. They probably push on doing a lot more things than I probably do, but I do licenses and things like that a lot of people don't see and things like that. But it's a great honour to do it, because there've been some really good people who has been in this position, and just hopefully it's just about keeping it going and trying new ideas. Some will work, some won't. Unfortunately, it is a money game. Now it's no, people playing for the joy, but it's became more money orientated. So it's about making sure that we're raising funds and things like that as well, and we'll get onto that a wee bit later and things like that. So yeah, it's always going to be an honour, no matter who you are or whatever, president of any club or any organisation is always going to be, humbling, if you want to put it that way, you know, and I'm sure it was a wee bit of an eye-opener for some people when it was myself and Mr. Smiley, Mr. Brian Smiley, who will hopefully be coming on soon.
Very soon.
So I'm sure it was, but, you know, we've got our main interest is Blackburn, and making sure it's successful and sustainable, which is probably the big word.
Being able to keep it going.
Yeah, as a sustainable club going forward. So in 10, 15, 20 years, you know, somebody else who takes over the reins as a football club to, you know, be proud of and move forward with. Yeah. With different ideas.
Aye. So we're kind of talking about the community. You've kind of been instrumental as your role in the community development officer. I'm thinking of examples, your Sporting Memories group and stuff like that. Yeah. But can you kind of explain, because you've got dual roles here, but can you explain what that kind of role on a day-to-day basis as a community development officer is? It varies?
Yeah, it varies, you know. I think, as I already says, as a football club, we've got, you know, the power that we've got to make change in people's lives. You know, we've got 400 plus kids already go to their weekly. We've got parents and things like that are there that we can reach out to. So, you know, we have got this reach, and it is about, you know, my day to day is just making sure the groups that we're running are funded. You know, because, you know, it does, you know, take a bit of work in the background to make sure things are funded. You know, we've got some great partners like Active West Lothian, the Lottery. We work with the Larder, the Robertsons Trust, and I'm sure there's more that I'm missing. You know, and without that sort of funding, you can't do these. You can't put these things on. So, you know, we run summer camps for school kids. Who meet a certain criteria. We've now, you know, one of our biggest partners at this moment in time is the Scottish Football Association, with Extra Time, which is a Scottish government-backed project. Again, a lot of work has to be into there to do that. We've got 25 kids who now come along after school. So it's just making sure we've got the right people in place to run those projects and you know, the right qualifications to do that as well. So my sort of day is just making sure all that's in place. If there's any funding, you know, we have got, again, somebody else who's hopefully coming on, Neil McCallum, who's our project manager for the club, who does a lot of things in the background, getting funding, finding what funding's coming out, and just putting that all in place.
A lot of form filling, I imagine.
Yeah, so there's reports and things like that to do, and that. But it's the most important thing is to make sure, you know, that kids are enjoying themselves, and we give them opportunities that they might not previously have or had. Yeah. You know, for example, through Meals and More, which is I think it's a charity arm of Breaks. They've gave us money for a big day out, and we're taking 50 kids to the pantomime for the Christmas pantomime down at the Regal. Again, some of these kids might never get that opportunity to go there. So, you know, that's why we do it for. You know, that's why we're out there chapping doors and things like that. You know, building relationships with various schools and you know, the West Lothian Council, who again are one of our funders, helping us provide a lot of things for the kids of Blackburn community and surrounding areas as well. So it's not just Blackburn kids, but it's mainly there. But you know, we do reach out to, you know, Seafield and other places like that as well. You know, so it's really important that we do use our reach to make a difference in people's lives, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's clear that, like, certainly that the football club isn't just, you know, part of that small town. It has such a responsibility for the wider community.
Yes, yeah.
It definitely does. Have you seen any kind of noticeable changes over the past couple of years in how the community views the club?
Yes, I would hope so. You know, we're more than a football club. You know, we are, and I'm sure, you know, the people that we've helped in the past and present, you know, all are aware of what we do. We still probably need to push ourselves out there a wee bit more, you know, to advertise this is what we're doing. But most people now realise, you know, that we're there for them, and if they've got any issues or need any help in any sort of way, you know, I hope they know that they can come down to the club or reach out, you know, via the emails, and we'll see what we can do to do that. You know, we've had some lovely letters and lovely feedback, positive, and you know, even suggestions of how to make things better. So we like that as well. Do you know, it's good to have that sort of feedback. So yeah, it's making sure, you know, that people get the help, you know, that they may need, and people get the opportunities in life.
That's it. They're all getting the same opportunities.
You know, that you know, some of us had, some haven't in the past, you know, so it's just making sure even that wee bit of chat with somebody or a bit of advice from somebody, you might not take it on board straight away, but, you know, at some point in life, that bit of advice will come back to you. So it's things like that, giving people opportunities and stuff like that. And
so apart from the money being a big challenge, what other kind of challenges have you kind of faced when trying to grow that kind of community involvement in the club?
It depends what we're talking about. We're talking about, you know, the teams and people within that the community football club, or outside in the community.
I'd say outside in the community.
Outside in the community, there's not been loads of difficulties. It's just about speaking to the right people, reaching out to the right people who are aware of the people who need help. So, for instance, you know, having meetings with the school teachers at Murrayfield, Blackburn and other schools. Again, we've got a good relationship with Conley House, which is an ASN school, and we do, you know, quite a few things for them as well, you know, engaged really well with them, and hopefully we can, you know, improve on these partnerships and things like that. So yeah, it's about getting our message out there. It's making sure, you know, that everybody's aware that we do certain things, but I think that's becoming more and more, especially with engagement with the schools, to do that. I think that helps, because then the parents hear about it, then the parents talk about it amongst themselves and things like that as well. And we use, for example, one of the ones that we use is the youth council. We started a youth council a couple of years, and they've been terrific, you know, with helping running groups and delivering. We've done food parcels and clothes parcels and things like that as well, which we'll be doing for Christmas again, and there'll be more details to follow on that. So yeah, we hope we're having a positive impact on the community, and about just keeping that going. It's got nothing to do with the football side. It's not, you know, my laddie never got into the team, you know, and they hold that sort of against, you know, teams and things like that, because, you know, it does happen. I've had the conversations myself with people within my community role, and it's just explaining to them, you know, this has got to do with, you know, us helping you, your kids, your families and stuff like that. So it is about, you know, just pushing that narrative, you know, and everybody's aware.
Aye. So over the past few years, I've certainly seen Blackburn United's really kind of grown massively from the youth set up to the senior teams. What apart from yourself, what else is kind of, do you think, has driven that growth?
It's been the board, you know, the community itself, you know, the teams and the volunteers. But I think, you know, we probably don't realise how much board members need to put in. You know, and that goes back all the way back from Ian McGinty, Brian Smiley, you know, David Jones, Jimmy Johnston. Sorry if I've missed anybody out. You know, and the current board, you know, that's there. Angie Campbell, who's been there for years, Lynn Nelson from the girls, Sonia from the girls, yep. You know, Mr. Purdy himself, Martin Strachan, Chris Boyle, Paul Meakin, you know, and Angie Campbell, obviously. I hope I've not missed anybody out. You know, they're the driving force, you know, behind everything. You know, they're giving up a lot of time, you know, and especially recently with getting the new 3G. Yep. You know, the work that went into that just to get that is unbelievable. You know, we're new business plans and new strategies for our next 3, 5, 10 years and things like that as well. You know, having an away day at the college. Again, people taking holidays, you know, to go and do that. So, you know, there's a lot more people behind it, you know, not just the committee, the volunteers that are about. You know, we've got people who just deal with the PVG. We've got a new...
I mean, that's a huge thing, the PVG.
PVG is one of the most important things, so we're safeguarding, you know, all the kids there, and adults as well, you know. Even the first team need to have child well-being protection and things like that. PVG's in place, because if somebody was to get knocked unconscious or breaks their legs or whatever it may be, you know, that person becomes a vulnerable person. So everybody needs to have a PVG who's involved, because the first and foremost, you know, is enjoyment playing football, but it's the safety of the kids. So yeah, it's really important. We've got a new child protection officer coming on board as well to join myself and Sonia. I'm sure it's Sonia. So yeah, and that's another volunteer, you know, giving up their time to do that. So yeah, without the volunteers, but again, I've got to take my hats off to the community club committee, because they do, you know, it's you know, at least an hour a day for some people, you know, minimum, to make sure that everything's, you know, running as smoothly as possible, you know, because there's always something needing done, you know, a light bulb needing changed, or a bit of plumbing work, or fix the goals, fix the nets, you know, and that's just the normal day-to-day stuff. There's long-term visions that people have got that take a while to get put into place and things like that as well. So no, it's hats off to them, and I'm sure, like myself, you know, they don't want a pat on the back for it, but they feel good within themselves that they're helping so many people.
Aye, we're making this a reality. So from a kind of leadership perspective, how do you kind of balance your ambition of going, we want to be up here, and the sustainability of actually keeping the club going?
As in the community club first team sort of... Overall, you know, listen, we anybody that knows me I'm 100 miles an hour. I'll have an idea and I'll send out that idea, and by the time I've got a reply, I'm on to idea 5, you know, from the first one. So, you know, it's just about, you know, keep moving forward, keep coming up with ideas. You know, everybody, you know, some ideas work, some ideas don't. Keeping the sustainability, you know, we went to a central fund, you know, that will help with that as well. Make sure that, you know, we're doing things that make people want to come along. You know, we are one of the, if not the best, you know, facility, you know, within West Lothian. And it's just about keep building on that. Don't stop. Never stop once to go, all right, we're here and we're happy.
We're treading water.
We're treading water. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Yes, there'll be hurdles, but most hurdles are you're able to get over, or you can divert round it or whatever, you know. So it's just about keep pushing and keep pushing each other. You know, you don't always go, oh, I agree with you, you know, and, you know, you have to have somebody playing devil's advocate at some point and going, slow down a wee bit. I've heard that a few times to myself. And things like that, but yeah, you know, it's always, you know, don't go there and go, oh, look how well we've done.
Aye, no, don't rest on your laurels.
Where's the next level? Where's the next level? And we've got loads of ideas to do things. Would it be great to have a second 3G, because we're becoming that, you know, the teams and especially the girls section, we want to keep on growing that. We want to keep on having ladies. So these are the things that, you know, that have to be spoken about. What's the funding possibilities? Where would it go? All these things, you know, these are the things that we aim for the stars, as they say, or aim for the stars. And
if you get the moon, then yeah.
If you get the moon or whatever it is, you know, it's happy days. You know, so I'm always usually I'm usually half full rather than half empty.
Aye, I know, that's good. So you're known from, I wouldn't say strict, like you say, you've got high standards.
Yeah.
From your kind of managerial career, shall we say. What kind of culture are you trying to build at the club?
Fear.
Just build, that's what
no, don't with you. I'm only kidding on. The culture is at the community club is should be all about fun, engagement, kids playing physical activity, enjoying it. Because I think, you know, we forget about, you know, we come to a point where we do maybe sometimes concentrate on winning rather than concentrating on, you know, kids out playing about, you know, being a safe space for kids, having fun, playing football. Yes, do we want pathway teams and players that can progress up to the first team? Of course we do. Every club does, who has a community club that has a first team. You know, we want to see that pathway there, and give that, you know, there's nothing better than seeing a homegrown lad, and there's a few of them in the first team, you know, at this moment in time. Danny Campbell, Jazza and stuff like that, who have came through the whole system. So yes, there's a bit of satisfaction when you see that. But the most important fun is kids out there having fun, running about, having a laugh, learning new skills, all these things. That's what it has to be based on, in my eyes.
And I think you're quite right, and I think that's continued throughout the first team. Our interview last week with Andy, when we were asking him about the Armadale game, and he was, you know, asking him how are you putting the players out of this game against Armadale, and he's like, I want them to go out and have fun, to enjoy the occasion, to enjoy that. And you know, he's right. And look at the result.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you get to that level, you want to have fun, but you know, you also want to win. You know, because the fun can go out at that level if maybe you don't win that game. I'm sure people would have went home with upside down smiles, let's say. So yeah, it is about, with the kids, it's about fun. You know, it is about, you know, there's a new 10-year strategy coming out for the SFA, which is a community club we're looking at very closely at this moment in time. You know, and it is going to be a wee changing the direction from the SFA and what they're wanting to do, and that going into schools, you know, almost every kid having a ball, you know, so, you know, they're having fun with the ball from a young early age. You know, that's why, you know, we've started the Pandas from 18 months to 5 years. It's just so kids can go out there, have fun, kick a ball about, you know. If they want to enjoy in the wee games, the wee structured games and that's fine, but as long as they can go run about kicking the football into goals, brilliant, as long as they're having fun. That's the main thing, fun. And yes, you know, I was kidding on about there has to be standards as well, you know, but these standards are there. I'm just talking about my own team, but we have fun, we have a laugh. You know, game day, you know, we put the game day head on, but everything else, you know, we try and have a laugh, but while still try to keep the standards.
Keep the standards up, yeah. So, you've kind of seen the club evolve. You've been around for quite a number of years without putting a too finer point on it. What changes have you noticed the most, and what's been the biggest learning curve, do you think, in your time at Blackburn?
The changes the most is how it's grown with teams. You know, people realising it's a nice, friendly, you know, family atmosphere. You know, if you want to get involved, nobody's going to say no. You know, if it benefits the community club, yeah, you know, come along, you know, and see that. So I see, you know, it is one big family. That's the way I see it. I see it as one big family, and hopefully all pulling in the same direction. You know, and there's small things when you say the big changes in that. When I first started, everybody wore a different kit. Somebody would be wearing Adidas, somebody would be wearing Nike. You know, and the sort of rule was as long as it was black. You know, different. You know, and even then, you know, some people didn't go along with that rule. And I know it might seem a small thing to other people, and I know people go, you know, oh, it'd be good to change the colour and that. We're playing black. We've all been uniformed, and now, you know, before I could turn up at a park and go, who's playing?
You don't. Whereas now
I go up and I know, right, there's Blackburn playing. They're in their black strip. They've got the Joma and everything else. You know, they've got the correct badge on and things like that. And when I first started it wasn't like that. But you know, they were slowly building up to that point where it was like, right, everybody has to be uniformed in the exact same way. And I know that's a small thing, but that's what brings teams together. That's giving you an identity as a football club and things like that. So I think for me that, even though it sounds really small, it was a massive thing for me. That just brings it into the sort of, as I say, the family sort of. We're all one big family. Should be helping each other.
Well, that's it. Even when I'm out and about and I'm wearing the Blackburn big jacket because it's nice and warm, I'll get nods and nice, and I know that they're football people as well. They recognise the badge and know that he's part of Blackburn.
Yeah,
It is. It's that little he's part of that family,
and it's something to be proud of. You know,
that's
it's something
it.
to be proud of what's sitting on our doorstep for a wee village. And yes, I know we talk about having fun and that, but we've had teams that have been very, very successful from a tiny, what's a wee village, you know, and that's because we attract players from all over, you know, West Lothian, you know, Lanarks and stuff like that, Edinburgh, all these sort of things, and that's because of the facility that's been built, the pathway that's there, the friendliness of everybody and things like that as well. That's why we are where we are.
Exactly. So when you look ahead, what does success look like for Blackburn United? Say, you know, we've got these 5-year, 10-year plans. What's in your frame for that? To carry on being successful is for me is, you know, always putting different layers in. So it might be, you know, getting another seated stadium or sort of a stand and things like that, you know, maybe getting another pitch which would be really good. But for the next 10, 15 years, just more and more kids coming in, enjoying themselves, having fun. Yeah. Continue to, you know, people to engage with the community side of things, and growing that side, because there's a lot more growth there that we could be doing, you know, educational wise as well as educational hubs and things like that as well. For the community side, I want to see that grow. I want to see us being able to put on things that help people get employment, you know, help people who, you know, how to budget correctly or whatever it may be, whatever something else, it might be addictions or anything like that, you know, anything we can do to help that community, and we continue building the layers where we're at. You know, for me, one of the teams that I always look at to see what they're doing, community clubs are always doing is Spartans. And if we can, again, thrive to be Spartans, might not get there, but, you know, get to a lot of things they're doing, you know, tap into their knowledge and their wealth and things like that. You know, that's the community side that I'd be looking for. That's the direction.
That's the direction that we want to do, where, you know, we're the go-to people when they need support. And we can signpost, because we've got people down there just now who can signpost people to any sort of service if they're required, if they need any help and things like that as well. So I think that community side of it and the football pitch side of it, I'd love to, you know, see us getting another pitch, 3G, hopefully, you know, an Our Lady seniors team, and 5-10 years, and the first team in the Lowland League.
In the Lowland League?
Just the Lowland League, and that'd be alright with the next 5-10 years. That'd be alright. We'd definitely need Neil Purdy to dust his
checkbook
down for that one.
I don't know, maybe we could, how many seats could we get in the back of a removal truck and then have one of the removal trucks set up?
I think we could probably get a good 30-40.
Aye.
We'll only need another 40 to go for our bronze licence, so...
We could just ship them in and...
Yeah, and then they go away again. That sounds like an idea, mate.
So what motivates you personally to keep pushing the club forward?
Again, community.
Just the community.
Community, kids doing that. You know, I'm sure, you know, we've all been in scenarios where, you know, we got parents or other people going, oh, you know, he's just a disturbance in the team and stuff like that. You know, and it's trying to explain, you know, if he's not in the team, he's out in the streets. Roaming about and things like that. Aye. So we've got 400 people who, if they weren't playing football,
they'd be on the streets.
Either running about the streets, sitting in the PlayStation, getting physically unhealthy and things like that. So, absolutely, that's why I do it. That's the drive for it, you know, to get people playing football. And on the community side, the drive part of that is to make sure that people have got, you know, all the skills that are required to try and go and, you know, have a successful life, you know, because there's loads of bumps in that, as we know, and there's loads of choices to be made, and if we can help people make the right choices, you know,
we're doing our job.
We're doing something, and I think that's really important.
Yeah. So is there anybody that's kind of inspired you during, you know, or inspired you for your approach to kind of this leadership and community aspect?
There's no one very individual or anything like that. The sort of community side of it is probably people that helped me throughout my young life and things like that as well, who you know, probably at the time thought they were idiots. And that's why I say, you know, when it might take a year or two, that bit of advice that somebody gave you
to click into
to
place.
click in, you go, do you know what, I know what he was talking about now, and stuff like that, you know. So and just giving sometimes opportunities to people, you know, and I know I've said it quite a lot, you know, opportunities and experience can help so many people, you know, being at physical activity, or, you know, going and doing something that they just enjoy, giving support, not just the kids, you know. When we talk about the sporting memories, and we run a carers cafe as well at the same time, which we do with in partnership with the Larder. You know, that hour and a half that we have, it's mostly gentlemen at the sporting memories who have a diagnosis of dementia. Just that respite as a godsend to some of the families and carers and stuff like that, you know. So that's it's doing things like that and seeing the benefits that it has as well to families, you know, people who to participate in the groups and things like that as well. That's you shouldn't really need an ML driver and that as well, you know. So it is about that, and hopefully the community club keeps pushing that for a long time to go.
And is that what you'd like to be remembered for?
No, I wouldn't like to be remembered at all. Generally, just, you know, that Trevor done a role, the next person will do a role.
Part of the history. And
That's that. Aye, yeah,
Aye.
yeah. Just the, you know, the ashes or whatever it may be. You can scatter my ashes or something like
On
that,
the
or
pitch.
on the pitch or something like that. But no. Generally, I have no thoughts of you know, just be a bit of a name on a bit of paper in the history book.
Aye.
That's it. Nothing. Although Neil says he was going to build me a statue, but I'm still waiting, to be fair, but we'll wait and see.
I think I've still got a picture of that.
Still got a picture. You can maybe put that up. As I say, there's no. I say there's no ego. Everybody's got ego, but I don't do it for a pat on the back. My joy is seeing other people's joy, or, you know, maybe not even joy, knowing that you're helping somebody. That's my pat on the back and stuff like that. That's what, you know. I know what I've done. What other people might have different opinions.
Doesn't matter. You know what you've
done. I may know what's done rightly or wrongly.
It's done with the best intentions.
Yes. Most of the times.
So before we go into the quick fire questions, what message would you give to anyone listening who's thinking about getting involved with a community club? Or
it will enrich your life. And, you know, it will make a change to your life. You know, we're always looking for committee members. We're always looking, you know, this in the senior side as well. We're looking for, you know, first team committee members, community members, volunteers to help around with teams and things like that. Go for it, because it will enrich your life.
Yes.
It will frustrate you sometimes, and you want to do a runner and you know, get frustrated with certain things, but that's just life. But most of the time, it's really enjoyable.
Fair enough. So, into the quick fire round. Favourite player growing up?
David Cooper.
Okay, I like that one. Hardest opponent you've ever faced as a manager?
I'm going to say Thorn Athletic, who beat our 2006 in the Scottish Cup final.
Right,
really good team. And Portobello at 06s was really good as well, but Thorn Athletic, I'm going to say.
Did you have any pre-match rituals?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. You may need to cut that.
Aye.
But no. There's
excessive nicotine intake.
Yes. That's probably what it is. That was my definitely need a couple before the game. That's for sure. But we need to take that out to change it. Nicotine patches.
If you could manage any club in the world, who would you manage?
It'd need to be the most successful team in the world, which is Rangers.
Rangers, apparently. Okay. Funniest player you've ever coached?
Oh, there's a few stoters. There generally is.
You couldn't point.
Oh well, I could probably name Archie for the 06s. That's a bam pot. Wee Meatball for the 06s. That's Callum. He'll know. Everybody will know who Meatball is in my team. And the current squad. Probably Jared
was going to say Okay. Favourite venue?
That I've managed
you've
or
managed
played.
then.
Listen, Airdrie was great.
I was going to with the cup final.
The first Scottish Cup final,
aye.
but Falkirk is always going to have a special memory because the boys went and won the County Cup, the 2001s, and obviously the present won the Scottish 09s, the Scottish Cup final. So Falkirk's probably going to be my favourite stadium because it holds probably a lot of better memories.
I quite like Falkirk though because it is.
Yeah.
It's like its own way. It's not in the town itself. It sits away. It's kind of got a bit more atmosphere.
Yeah.
Especially with the backdrop of Grangemouth with the flares and stuff
Look at
going
the
off.
sun, so on a windy day it can be a bit bad, right enough. But yeah, it's a nice stadium. It's really is nice.
Favourite player of all time?
Gaza.
Gaza.
Paul Gascoigne. Yeah, really. Well,
I still remember that goal he scored against Scotland where he flipped over Hendry and just.
It was a great goal. My probably lasting memory is the hat trick he scored in Aberdeen against Aberdeen.
Against Aberdeen,
it was two cracking goals. I'm sure the one was a penalty, but I could be wrong. But two cracking individual goals.
Favourite Scottish player?
David Cooper.
Aye,
down and
Still.
out. Though they never got a lot of caps for Scotland.
No, but he was different class. VAR, bin it or keep it?
Keep it.
Yeah.
Aye, just been the Scottish referees a day or other.
Fair enough. I like that.
Kind of fucking heads and that, but anyway.
Rangers winning the Champions League or Scotland winning the World Cup?
Rangers win the Champions League. I'm Welsh, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Aye, and I was born in Wales, aye.
That makes sense with the second name, I guess.
Aye,
Okay.
so, right.
3G pitch or grass?
Oh, it's so hard. I'm so used to 3G now, do you know? But I think people have lost a lot of skills because of it and stuff like that. Because you don't know how many lads or kids, were on the grass and I can't play in the grass or the grass, and you're just going, well, you're in for a shock, mate. So 3G because you can play it on it all the time. Grass because you can get good sliding tackles on it.
Messi or Ronaldo?
David Cooper. I'm going to Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Aye. It's just too. Ronaldo, Messi's really good as well. I do like Messi. I like the both of them. It's really hard. Depends what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Goal scorer Ronaldo.
Okay.
Just general poetry Messi.
And I guess you're an Apple guy, not an Android guy, because you've brought an illegal device into Purdy Worldwide.
So I've been told that.
It's disappointing.
I should have showed you before I came in. I'd have been barfed in the podcast.
might well have been. And ice cream or chocolate?
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream?
I'm not.
What favourite flavour then?
It's got to be this old-fashioned Walls raspberry ripple.
Ripple.
But in the block.
Yes.
That you used to get. That's. It's not a bit. I've had better ice cream, but it's this nostalgia. This if you have one of them and put it in a couple of wafers, can't beat it.
Yeah. And if football wasn't the path, what do you think you'd be doing?
Just watching telly, to be fair. Generally, aye, because watching. I'd have been up to some, but I don't know what it would have been. But I'd probably just reading books and stuff like that. I do like reading, but I've not read now for a good few years just because I'm that busy. But when I go on holiday, I can tan about 2 or 3 books, just like that. Because I do like the switching off and reading books and that. So
I see your phone has been buzzing constantly the past couple of minutes here.
Well, yeah. Let's see.
You care to fill us in on this? Is this something you can share on the podcast?
Yeah, so, and it would be a good one. There's a wee transfer rumour that Blackburn are trying to get over the line tonight. I can't really say much more about it till we see the scarf photograph. But let's say if it does come, the player that they're talking about, they do pull it off, it's a great signing and just shows you the ambition of the first team at this moment in
Oh,
time.
I'm looking forward to this. Right,
So
okay.
I believe that there'll be an announcement sometime tomorrow, and hopefully we get a scarf photo with it. But yeah, I think it'll surprise a couple of people.
Okay.
If they pull this one off, and yeah, if it does come off, it'll just show the ambition that the club have got at this moment in time, because we are in a good place. We have got good momentum, and that.
Are we talking on the same level or calibre as Ben Riley here?
Yeah, definitely. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Can't wait for that one. Wait for that one.
So yes, it's and that's what we need to be bringing in. We need to be bringing in, people from. I won't give too much away from a Premiership team, and that's what we got Ben from. So, if we can bring somebody in for the Premiership to help with a promotion push, yeah, hopefully the boys in the background
Can make it pull it through. Brilliant.
Can pull that through. So no, that'll be really good. As I say, that all comes about with the hard work of your committee as well. They certainly put the work in and stuff like that to make sure there's funds available and it's a welcoming place and things like that. And because players want that to be, they want to have a place where they feel comfortable and relaxed in.
Yeah.
Same as the home dressing rooms when they got done, and we've got a wee fridge and telly and stuff like that. For analytics and stuff like that as well. So it's hopefully again all coming from the first team committee and help from the community club who allow us to put up signs and do things and things like that. So yeah, no, it's all. In fact, it's all going in the right direction, and that would just push us a wee bit further in the right direction of where we want to be. So, no, hopefully that come off. I knew there was a wee conversation, but I didn't know it was.
I could just see your phone going like red hot there, and I was like, something's happening.
close as that, but yeah. So hopefully we'll have a scarf picture for everybody tomorrow. So, happy days if that comes off. I'll have I think a lot of people will be really pleased with this signing if it does come off.
Brilliant. Well, look, listen, it's been absolutely fantastic having you in, Trevor. I think that's the perfect positive note to end this.
End it on, yeah. Thanks for having me. Hopefully you can decipher everything that I've said
not
to do that. So yeah, no, thanks for having us on. I was one of the people going, I'm not going on the camera. I still don't want to be on the camera, but it's a lot easier. So anybody who's hesitating, it's a lot easier than you think.
You forget
come
about the
along.
camera
Yeah,
altogether,
come
so.
along.
Well, listen, guys, thanks very much for watching. We will see you all next week, and we look forward to it. See you then.
Bye now. Thank you for having me.